It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. Oh, brilliant. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. Okay, save it. Where she saw it. Oh, I'm so unsure. I think it's one of these two, though. Where she saw it. Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it. Pointless to lie? I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location. Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Wait, what? Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we heard until now points in one direction. The place? Oh. wait, which one am I presenting first? I think she was in the screen room. Oh, fingers crossed. I think I'm gonna lose some health here. This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room! Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from here. But why there? There are so many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, wouldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime was, and the back of the petition is here. I remember in your testimony you said, you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today, a man has got the better of Angel Starr. Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective, you should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? I'm gonna save it again. 1 second. Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed a crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what would it change? Distance to the crime, angle of view to the crime. It's angle of view to the crime, right? Because would she be able to see over the 6-foot petition to see the murder actually happen? I'm gonna say angle of view to the crime. Why, the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change. The angle? What do you mean? Well, the security guard station is on the 2nd floor, and, she would have sort of a more 3D view of the crime. And this is important, why? No. Perhaps you'd like to reconsider, Mr. Wright. I thought maybe she couldn't see over the 6-foot partition. But maybe I'm... So yeah, that's what I was thinking, like she wouldn't actually be able to see her stabbing him. Yeah, why was she lying that she was in B block? I actually don't know. Difference in lighting? Distance to the crime. Uh-oh. I'm just gonna lose all my health. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. This is between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. No, but what she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was thinking when I said that. I was like, she'd have to go down an elevator to get there. She wouldn't be able to just leap a fence. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Skye? Well, witness. You. Yes? Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked, I couldn't open it. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? What the fuck? That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking, B block. That's quite a detour. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes? That's very different from her previous testimony. This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defense's chair who stabbed him. A defendant's chair. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? Raise an objection? 5 minutes between witnessing the murder and the rest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Skye dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah! Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant, and a blank in her memory. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut. I nearly misread that very aggressively. Can you see how I might have misread that? We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Uh-oh. It was her, wasn't it? Hold it. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that? This is another one of her trick lunchboxes. My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woohoo! A triple-decker! Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to split this testimony in two. Normally I try and keep the court cases in one. That's why they tend to be a little longer episodes. because I feel like that makes sense, but I'm gonna have to slice this in two because it's been so long. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. If we're going into another cross-examination, yeah, I'm gonna have to split it. It's like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? Yeah. I can't believe there's another freaking... Jesus Christ, Angel. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was of course the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness. What's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Interesting though. Wait, but we've frequently brought out evidence mid-trial. I'm very curious. I'm very confused by that. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really. So, like, I don't even know. The prosecution complaints notwithstanding. It appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. White enamel shoe bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Skye. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Yeah, I don't understand that rule because we've previously found evidence and presented it to the court, but we don't go through the police. I suppose maybe it's just the fact that it was like blood test stuff that they couldn't say. Unless there's another rule in defense law, in evidence law that says the defense can present evidence that hasn't been approved by the police. As long as it's able to be processed by the police at a later date or during the court case. I don't know. Weird. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This is when the suspect is admitting she did it. But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. And now to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? No, you didn't. And you found this shoe at the scene of the crime? I detained the chief prosecutor and noticed the police department. Notice at the police department? I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. Like an ill-trained pooch. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe is my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. 2 tabs of blood were found. Alright, 2 tabs of blood. One of us, of course, the victims. So you brought it to the forensics department. If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman, sorry. As I said, there were 2 taps of blood found on the shoe. The other type of blood belonged to Miss Lana Sky. You can't say for sure that the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types. A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. Yeah, just because that's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there, which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just 1 person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skies. But you can't say when the blood was dropped. I don't think. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. Does it though? I feel like that doesn't. It's not flawless evidence. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You order the peppered fish cuts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? There's a problem. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut right now, but you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. I was gonna analyze the shoe sometime before this happened. I'm gonna say the underside of the shoe. Present. I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. That'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of his shoe? Well, firstly, I'm gonna check this. She's not wearing white shoes here. That's possibly what I should have fucking said. What specifically is the problem with this? I don't know. I know. You just look at the shoe and you can see from the blood splatter. If you've ever read about blood splatter analysis, or blood spatter, sorry, analysis. I only know this from Dexter. It's from the TV show Dexter. Like, there's an odd way that the blood spatter appears on the shoe. There's a few spatters on the top, but then most of it is under the shoe, which suggests that it was already pulling blood by the time she was there. So she stepped in a pool of blood that was already there. If she stabbed him and then moved away from the body, she wouldn't have blood under her shoe, she'd only have it on her shoe. I don't know what could possibly be contradictory about the blood on the bottom of her shoe. That word muffler thing is gonna be really important, because I just know it. I just can feel it. It's gonna come up again. Cause I'm convinced though, I'm confused though about that whole thing, because I'm pretty sure didn't Emma say that she didn't actually call her? Like she got the phone call, but that she couldn't talk to her in time before the phone hung up. I don't know. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, maybe. I'm guessing your shoe has blood on it too. You just shot yourself in the foot. Did you like a grinder or a grind of a heel? Okay. God damn it. As I thought, a waste of time. Well, that was a nice break. Let's return to the testimony, shall we? Oh, maybe that whole thing. No, I'm gonna load. Maybe that whole thing was, either that whole thing was pointless, but, I'm gonna say again, there is a problem. Pretty certain it's this. I could try presenting this. It's probably wrong as well. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found in the scene of the crime? Oh, I didn't think about that. That's good. Aha! As you can see, there are no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order, order, order! Well, witness! What, huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then what? We have to ask, why there wasn't a footprint? Oh. That's true, there has to be a reason for why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. I think I'm on the right track. Yeah. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. No, I'm pretty sure I know. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. Did she go back and like put the shoe into the blood so that there was blood on it? Had like droppers of blood, dropped spatters of the blood on the shoe? What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. Predator, yep. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that, I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt on the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? Oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright. Don't you know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha! You don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To wash away the blood. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. That's nonsense. I mean, I feel like that's nonsense. That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to the murder. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's the prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Skye's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister got blood on the shoe. Or sister's blood got on the shoe. Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But... Enough. There's no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor? No, very well. But Angel Star's on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lanaska. Objection! I should be able to press a button. That's like an objection button. Oh. Hold it. Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you just say, Angel Star was on the prosecution side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well... I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else. I bet it's like... Emma just messed with her head. And like, she's like, but I'm helping a prosecutor. No, I can't do this. The time for deliberations has passed. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this. I frickin' knew it. I knew it. A photograph? I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. oh no, it is the victim's shoe. I thought they said it was... I thought they were saying it was Lana's shoe. I've had it in my head that they were saying it was Lana's shoe the whole time. God damn it. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait. Look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. Erasing the last trace, no doubt, from the court's mind. No doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. There's gotta be something. I'm sorry, Mia. Right, wit or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up from the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well, this time I'd like to declare a verdict for good. Wait, objection! It's me this time. Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, right. Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah. I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem with this. Show the court the problem with this photograph. Can I save it? Is it this? Why is there a cloth in the car? I'm nervous. I have no fucking idea. Knife is stabbed in him. That's normal. That doesn't look odd. I mean, in my head, a problem I saw earlier on that I'll mention now. I'm not going to probably present it just because I don't think it's going to be a part of it. A big problem I saw was that the victim was stabbed in the car trunk, right? Seemingly, he was like pushed into the trunk and then stabbed when he was in the trunk. If he was stabbed in the trunk, then the blood would pool in the car, not on the path. Why would there be blood on the path? Like a pool of it on the path. If he was stabbed in the trunk. I don't think that's what's trying to be said here. There's a shoe that she took. This? This feels wrong. The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait, just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. The muffler. Of course, I didn't think about the muffler. Your Honor. You just said muffler. Oh, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also a part on a car motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe. I see, and I see. Yeah. What's that suspicious looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler? So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing, absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case. I mean, it's definitely important. Let's just try this. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler. Ah, yeah. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means a piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh! Oh! But for me, that would say, like, it's weird that she said she knew the muffler was red. Because if she was just talking about a car muffler, then there'd be no implication about it being red. Yeah. Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about this piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once, and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Phew. That was close. But we made it, at least for now. I'm so confused how that had anything to I'm amazed that they went along with that. This court will adjourn for 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime, after all. He's still hungry? Oh, that was the longest court case. That was the longest court section in the game. I swear, that's the longest time I've ever spent in court. Jesus. That court case was an hour and a half long, which is unusual for court cases. Normally the court cases are about an hour, or a little less than an hour. And so previously what I've been trying to do, what I've sort of started trying to do at least, is have 2 episodes during the investigation section and then an episode in the court. 2-1, 2-1, 2-1 sort of thing for the previous case. Of course I had the bonus part at the end of the last case before the snap election, for the snap court hearing. But this time we just had literally an hour and a half of one witness. That's wild. Anyway, if you like what you saw, hit like. If you want to see more from me, then subscribe. Hopefully you're enjoying this last case so far. I'm very curious to learn a little more. By the way, it had been a little while between the last time I played to today, playing this court case. So some of the details were a little fuzzy, but I'm still convinced that either Angel herself or the detectives planned this. I have a feeling, yeah, planned this and aimed to frame Edgeworth in the murder, but then accidentally framed Lana. Whatever the case. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.